Mariota going to New England.
Did
anybody hear that?
I
did not hear that.
That's a rumor.
I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I had it muted, so we're starting back over again. Mike, I got my
I told you, man.
First time, everybody. Episode 5, Hit the Showers, presented to you by the Foolproof Entertainment Network. I am Clifford Jordan, your host. I have Malcolm Casual King, my point man, to the side of me. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How y'all feeling tonight?
Listen, I'm here. And then I have my co-host from the Do Fools Agree podcast, Mr. Michael Reggie. How are you?
Doing all right, man.
That's
glad
good.
To be here. Glad to talk some NFL. Let's go.
Let's do it. Then we got my father in the building, Clifford Jordan. How are you, sir?
Fantastic.
It's glad to hear. And Mr. Mike Brown, the OG up there. What's going on?
All right. How y'all doing?
Listen, we here. And as I previously stated, but no one heard, we are here to talk NFL trade talk as well as it's fight night, ladies and gentlemen. But we'll kick it off as we did before. Carson Wentz.
Glad he's gone. Bye-bye.
You happy? You happy about that?
I'm ecstatic, man. Get him out of there. One hit wonder. Now, sometimes it's like that. And that's what he was.
Now the question is, do you think that the Colts benefit from a Carson Wentz on their team?
I do not. There was a couple of good points I heard earlier on a couple of previous sports shows that said Carson's been damaged physically and mentally and emotionally, and I believe that. I believe that he's down. He shows that. I believe when he feels defeated, he feels like he doesn't have it, which he hasn't had it in a while. He shows that his game. So Frank Wright, they have rapport. They both were in Philly. Shout out to Frank Wright, helped us win a Super Bowl a couple of years ago. They have chemistry. He may be able to revive Carson, they said, since they have that chemistry. But I believe at this point, the damage has already been done. I could be wrong. We'll see. But I don't believe that Wentz is going to be a valuable quarterback at this point to win a big game or championship.
Yeah, and I'm gonna agree with you there, just from the standpoint of Wentz is a symptom of a bigger problem in the country right now, which is people are soft. People are soft, and we do not know how to deal with adversity in this country right now.
Listen.
Yep.
So we either throw temper tantrums or we fall into this depression bullshit or whatever it is. And he's not the only one, but he's a great example of, like, we're just not tough anymore. There's a lack of mental toughness in sports and in like that generation that is, 15 to 25, 20 to 30, like that generation, they are lacking mental toughness.
No, I agree.
I see it in high school ball. I see it all the time. Like kids get, one, they can't take coaching. And so they view getting coached as getting attacked.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. Like
right.
I've been hard on kids, but I'm also the guy that's going to build them back up.
Right.
It's hard now, man. Like even compared to like 10 years ago when I started coaching high school, personally, like my life and my situation has softened me a bit.
Right.
And so I'm not like yelling at kids anymore, but still, like there's a time and a place for it. And when you get that, how are you going to respond? Are you going to step up and be the man that I'm asking you to be? Or are you going to crumble and fold? And Wentz is a guy that when he's come across the adversity, puts his tail between his legs and folds.
Okay. I don't think I could disagree. with that.
Can I be the Carson advocate?
Definitely.
Oh, snap.
I'm gonna say this. I mean, anybody goes to Philly. Philly's a tough town to play.
It is.
It's a tough team. They the fans are really behind you. But I'm gonna say this: he's going to a team that's really like the blue collar team. Everybody loves him. Indianapolis Colts. They pamper you. He has a hell of a defense, great offense.
Dome.
Yeah, he got a dome.
Yes.
So a pampered child, you put a pampered child in a pampered atmosphere, he might come out on top. As long as they help him a little bit, pamper him a little bit, he might be okay. I give him a decent season because of the fact that if you like I say, people are a part of the element. When you're in Philly, they're booing you, they're rough on you. The team is rough on you. They turn their backs on you. I mean, look what Phillip Rivers did. He went in and he turned out a little bit. Now Carson can come in. He can actually they can give a little new shot of new blood, new atmosphere. Mm-hmm. They make him feel good. You might see the Carson Wentz he was supposed to be, considering the fact that the fans are not as hard on him.
I think that's a very good point.
But here's the difference, though, between Carson Wentz and Phillip Rivers, Papa J, in my opinion, is that Phillip Rivers, win or lose, was a leader. You know, he was like a Dan Marino, right? Like he didn't win it all. He didn't end up winning at all, but he was a great quarterback and he could lead his teams, right? From San Diego to Indianapolis in the last season. I just feel that Carson is not a leader. I feel like he lost the respect of our team. A lot of his time that he's been with us, they didn't want to play for him or with him because the moment Jalen Hurts stepped in, it was a whole different situation. And we had a lot of injuries. Right. So I understand that's a factor too. But, okay, they played better. Go ahead.
There you go. The reason why I say this is, I'm going to say this again. The reason why I say this is because I want you to think about the Raiders. I'm going from a Raiders standpoint. But think about think about this. When Carson Palmer, when Palmer was with the Raiders.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
He got blew out. He was horrible. They dogged him in Cincinnati when he got blew out. But as soon as he went to Arizona Cardinals, he became he fixed his name. He got a new name.
That's true.
He brought him back up again. So he was soft in LA. Soft in Oakland. But he became a football hero again in Arizona.
He did. So I say that to say Carson was a leader, though, because Carson had playoff experience, even in Cincinnati, right? Carson was a leader. He was plagued by a couple little injuries, but he had some good team. You know, Carson, he played well overall, and he was a leader. Now, he kind of finished out bad in Cincinnati, of course, and he left. But Carson Wentz, though, to my opinion, like I said, he doesn't have the leadership ability or quality. I don't see that in him. And then I also feel he's injury prone. He's my age. He's 28 years old. Be 29. Matter of fact, we're the same year and a week apart. Literally a week apart, Papa Jag. Okay. He's injury prone. And I know this happens to some guys. It just happens. It's inevitable. But I feel like he doesn't have much of a playoff experience. So the few times he had a couple snaps, he didn't play well and he got hurt. And even in general, he can't stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, to your point, if he can revitalize himself, re-energize himself with Frank Reich and the Colts, good for him. Yeah. But as of what I've been seeing, I just don't see it happening. Just from what I've seen.
Who's the backup? Who's the backup? Who's his backup?
I can look it up.
Yeah, please
do. I can look it up.
Kobe Brissett.
Okay.
Jacoby Brissett?
Yes.
You're right, because Rob's mad about that.
The only reason why I ask is because I feel like the whole Indiana Colts and the Adam Luck situation, it seems like they've always had an injury-prone quarterback. You feel what I'm saying?
You mean Andrew Luck?
Andrew. No, we know what you mean. Andrew Luck.
Right. But
Adam was his half brother.
You're stupid.
Or something. But he's always been. I went to. Never mind. But they're used to having a injury-prone quarterback is what I'm getting at. So what I'm thinking is, but you know what? Even Andrew Luck didn't have a good backup there either.
He did not.
Until they got Phillip Rivers, they didn't really have a quarterback. So I'm gambling that right now they figured that for the ticket they got Wentz for, he's good enough to. What were you about to say?
Well, wait, you said until Phillip Rivers had never had a quarterback. So right. Are we leaving out Peyton Manning that was there?
No. I said when Andrew Luck came and got injured, they never had a quarterback until they brought in Phillip Rivers. So
wait.
What?
Jacoby Brissett was pretty. Matter of fact, to be honest, he got screwed over. He got screwed over. Jacoby Brissett's a pretty great quarterback. He's a New England boy, and he's pretty good. He got screwed over when Andrew Luck. I'm sorry. Was he there? I'm not sure if he was there before Luck. I don't believe so.
I think he was.
But when Luck went down and Brissett, no, Mike, he wasn't. When Luck, because Luck was there, and they brought Brissett in. When Luck went down, of course, as usual, Brissett came in, and he stepped up. He played well. Then they went ahead. Luck retired. Brissett had a little bit of a ride, and they brought in Phillip Rivers. They didn't trust him with the responsibility of being their starting quarterback. But Brissett's not a bad quarterback, in my opinion. I think he's pretty solid, actually.
Well, listen. The only reason why I said that is because I feel like they're thinking that they can take a gamble on Wentz to be around a little longer than Luck was, and what I think that the team, at least this is just speculation, but from a team office management situation, I think that they've realized we may be able to succeed without a marquee quarterback based on the previous years that they've had to fight through the NFL. And I feel like they think Wentz is good enough to be that guy who's not the marquee, but can still take care.
They expect him to be a game manager, right?
Right.
That's the term that you use for the second tier quarterbacks. You expect them to be a game manager. You expect them to be able to throw off the play action pass. You're a run heavy team. You're not asking for them to do miracles.
Now, how long was this contract? Does anybody have that? I definitely didn't look up the contract that they gave him.
No, I don't know that.
I can look it up.
Because I couldn't imagine them thinking that they want him long term.
Oh, they do. They have to. We as in Philadelphia sacrificed the biggest loss in history of a trade financially against our cap. And it was a long-term deal for a lot of money. And the Colts took that on. So they're investing in the long term. Let's be honest, Cliff. This is not a what you know situation. This is strictly a who you know situation on why this trade even happened and where he went to and why he went to Indianapolis. He only had two. He only had two teams out of 32 teams in the NFL, from what we know of. He only had two teams interested in him: the Chicago Bears, which I'm not sure what the correlation was there, and the Indianapolis Colts, which made sense because I brought this up months ago. That if he were to be traded, I could see him going to the Colts simply because Frank Reich is there. They have chemistry. They won a Super Bowl together. So that was a who you know, not even what you know. You know what I mean? It was one of those.
Okay.
I don't even know if I fully believe in you, but I know you. We've had success together somewhere else. Let me bring you on.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like, hey, I really believe. Like, matter of fact, I thought this was interesting. I'm not sure what relevance this really has. It's relevant, but significance, I should say, really has. I looked on the Colts' Twitter.
Right.
The day of the trade, the day we all few of us spoke about the trade.
Right.
They didn't have any. Most teams have a welcome.
Right.
We picked up so and so. They still to this point. Last time I checked, don't have anything on Carson Wentz. Philadelphia had a Adam Schefter post.
So what would make
traded?
What would make you think that they plan on him being long term if they haven't rolled out the red?
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. I'm just saying contractually right now they took on a big contract it's a long-term deal from what I understand. I'll double check it. But I agree. They may not, because listen, let's be honest. Frank Reich, if his job's on the line or Carson's job's on the line, I'm sure he's going to be like, yeah, I like him and we had success, but he's got to go. Rather than, you know what I mean? Where Doug Peterson took the fall and so did Carson. It wasn't like one of them got saved. I think Frank Reich's not going to want that to happen to him after seeing what happened. He's probably going to be like, if it's getting bad, hey, yeah, bro, you got to go.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. That's a dangerous gamble, right? That's a dangerous gamble.
Right.
Not only is he injury prone, but we also know when it comes to his play, he's spotty. Right? Mm-hmm. We don't know that he can have that same fantastic year that he had his rookie year.
Man.
But that's where I go back to the talent-wise and the situation that you're in. You're talking about a tough team in Philly. You're talking about a soft team in Indianapolis. Indianapolis has a dynamic team, and if you put him in there, he might be the fit. Like I said, we go back to that Mac Jones, the dude that plays for Alabama, the quarterback.
Right.
Right now, they're looking at this guy like he's a superstar. But when you take him to the NFL and you put him in Philly, he would get destroyed. I mean, because if you don't have the Heisman Trophy receivers and another receiver and Nation, what's his name? The running back is Harris.
Who?
For the Colts?
For Alabama. I'm talking about Alabama.
Oh, the Devontae Smith?
No, that's the wide receiver.
The running back, Najee Harris.
Oh, running back, Najee Harris.
You take the receivers away, Najee Harris away,
right?
That hellified defense away.
Right.
Mac is at the bottom. He's in the Mac league. He's not that good, but yet they talking about he might be a number in the 7th pick or 8th pick. I see him as garbage.
Just because teams are desperate for quarterbacks right now.
They are.
Yes. It's going to be an interesting draft.
They are.
It's going to be an interesting draft. But Beyond that, Mike, you actually sent me that interesting trade, that 4-way deal. Have you heard any updates on that?
No, I mean, for the most part, it was a fantasy scenario, right?
Right.
It would take so much for that to actually come to fruition.
Right.
But I thought it was interesting in terms of, let's see, it was Russell Wilson going to the Jets, Deshaun Watson going to the Niners.
Sam Darnold, 3 first-round picks and 1 second-round pick to the Texans.
Yep.
And then Garoppolo, Bosa, and 2 of the first-round picks to the to the Seahawks.
The Seahawks. And so I think that's I mean, just the amount of moving pieces there is interesting.
But
I don't think it'll ever happen, but I think those are actually good deals across the board for everyone.
No, I think those are good deals across the board for everyone. The question is, that Russell Wilson has a no-trade clause, and he's not going to the Jets.
As does
Deshaun Watson. But he would be better off in the 49ers. He would be better. Right. He almost may be in a better situation with the 49ers than he's currently in with the Texans.
Well, I mean, I think he's made it clear he's out.
Right.
But they're talking about him sitting a year.
Right. Because I think that Texas is spiteful enough not to let him go. And I think that Watson is serious enough that he's not going to play. Right.
No, I agree. Now, I do worry about him getting done dirty, but I think you guys talked about that.
The Kaepernick situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
I don't think that can happen, to be honest, because even if they do him dirty for the length of his contract, somebody's going to want him after that contract's up.
Yeah, he's not on the same level.
Right. Somebody's going to be like, I don't care if you ain't played for 2 years, Deshaun, come to our team.
Yep. No, and he's good enough that I think he's a workhorse and he stay in shape that whole time.
It's a shame that gets brought up, even about a player that good. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
I mean, it is the NFL is because the game is so fast and it evolves so quickly, even within the season. Like there is concern if you got somebody with rust, but that's a concern for like the first 4 weeks of the season.
Right.
You run him more in the preseason and see if he can get back up to game speed. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I would take the risk if a Deshaun Watson was out there, but
I mean, well, again, I go back to the point is there's a lot of Jerry Joneses in the league at the end of the day.
Right.
And let's be honest, and I don't always want to throw race into it, but him being a black quarterback does not make it any better, no matter how talented he is. Right. If they feel that he's a distraction, they're not going to want to. That'll mess up their. They're all about profit. Let's be honest. They're about profit.
But the one thing that erases black skin is green paper.
Yeah.
So if they know that green paper can make them money on top, they don't care about that black skin at that point. So
I agree.
And honestly, like I don't mean to say this I don't want it to come off sideways, but Kaepernick wasn't that great.
Right.
He was a mediocre quarterback.
You're correct.
He was NFL level. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I would put him in the category of one of those game managers, maybe a little above game manager.
Right. He just was more athletic. His athleticism kept him at a topper level, a higher level than those game managing quarterbacks.
Right.
But no, you're correct. I mean, I don't think that sounds sideways. I think that's a very fair.
Good point.
Yeah.
But they still did him dirty.
Yeah.
He still should have had a starting position.
Correct. He should have had a backup position.
No, not even that. There's plenty of quarterbacks that he should have started over.
You're right.
Better than.
You're right. But even if they think like he's not good enough to start, he was good enough to be anybody's backup.
Right, I agree. For sure, a backup. He could definitely be a backup.
There's no reason why he couldn't have got a backup job, but
he should have been picked up. He should have been picked up, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Right.
I think even at this point, make him a backup to a incoming, rookie or second year quarterback.
Right.
He can
teach a little bit, experience wise.
Exactly.
Right.
And basically, like, I think from that perspective, he could probably still find a spot like that if he wasn't completely blackballed. And I honestly, at this point, don't even know that he has any interest in coming back.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
he's probably washed up by now. Probably washed up by now too. Like you said, too many years out the league, game changes, like you said, Mike.
Yeah.
It gets, things evolve. He may not even be able to fit and keep up with these guys right now.
Let's face it, when Kaepernick was last or an active quarterback, like RPOs weren't a thing.
Right.
Pass options weren't a thing. And that's half the fucking offense now for any team.
Listen, let's be honest though. The way that the game is played now, Kaepernick would be a lot better here than there. He's a lot more fit for this generation's game than when he was playing against.
Problem is that he's older and he hasn't been in the league.
Right.
Yeah.
He probably lost a little gas for sure.
Now, which was it last year? Last year, the year before. Was it last year or the year before he had a tryout and only like 2 teams showed up?
It was last year.
Almost every year. So hold on, but that's almost every year. Almost every year they say we're going to give him a tryout, and he's talked to Roger Goodell, and he's on good terms, and they made up, and there's apologies, and
the story was when they originally said they were going to give him a tryout. That's when they were telling. It was a whole bunch of bullshit that was going on, and then they was telling him that he couldn't use his own people to film it. So he felt like, well, shit, why can't I film
I didn't know
my
that.
own tryout type shit?
Right.
And then that's when he canceled. Remember, he drove down to, where was it, Atlanta?
Somewhere.
He drove wherever the tryout was to, I think it was Atlanta or something like that. And then he did his own tryout and filmed it with his people. But I guess that I don't know if the mixtape didn't get out. They didn't drop that.
Right, that's what it was. The
mixtape didn't get out. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
they undercut him for sure.
Other than that quarterback talk, we didn't talk enough about them soft ass pitchers. They pitchers nowadays. It's no difference from a pitcher and a quarterback.
Yeah, you're not allowed to hit him anymore, so.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right, man.
So moving on, I hear that the Patriots are interested in shopping Gilmore, their cornerback.
I heard about that. I heard
the Raiders are a team that's interested in getting him. And they definitely need someone on defense.
He's done for.
It's interesting with that because the other, sorry to go back to quarterbacks, but Patriots apparently interested in Mariota.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I wonder if there's trade deal there.
That might be interesting.
That would be a heck of a team.
Listen, I guarantee you, watch what's going to happen. The Patriots will get Mariota and actually do something. And then
they will do a lot.
The Raiders going to be like, well, what we have?
Right.
You had
Belichick.
You saw what he did. That one game you put him in, and then you chose not to put him back in.
And that was why I had to bring it up.
And
also Josh McDaniels is a creative offensive coordinator. He's a genius. He's better coordinator than coach for sure, but he's great at OC. He would take care of him.
But see, the thing is, they want to put Mariota in because you put Mariota in, especially for the game he played, that would have been quarterback controversy for Derek Carr.
Get him out of there. They should have left him on the curb in LA before they came to
but somebody reason Gruden liked him.
They should have avoided his ticket. He should have been up there getting stamped like, "Up, sir, this ticket no longer is in effect. You got to stay."
Right. Listen.
But
y'all are stuck with Carr.
But you know what?
No, we're not.
I will say, as much as
y'all stuck.
I'm not a fan of him.
I'm saying we're not stuck with Carr, man. I'm telling you.
What you think? What you think the possibilities could be?
I think they might move on from him, man. A lot of rumors right now.
They can't this
year.
With
who? He can go to Texans. Send him over to the Texans.
They don't.
No, go ahead and say.
Give us Deshaun Watson.
They don't.
Go. Right.
No. They had his brother.
That's why they don't want him. They ain't trying to get. They like fool me once, motherfucker.
Yeah.
We you back here. No cars back in there.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that.
But I kept hearing about. I guess I think Mike Brown brought this up, but I guess Papa Jordan mentioned it. Is the Brigham Young quarterback I heard y'all might try to draft?
Oh, I think he's the best in the draft.
That's what I keep hearing. That's what Mike Brown keep talking about.
He ain't gonna make.
That's what I was thinking too.
No, they're saying that. They're saying he's not gonna slip that far down. Like that.
Nah, in a season that we need so many quarterbacks, he's not gonna make it to 17. There's no way.
Right. That's what I was thinking too.
happening.
Now, I know you wanted to move past it, Cliff, from the quarterback frenzy, but I did read that my Philadelphia Eagles were considering drafting a quarterback to give Jalen Hurts a quarterback challenge for the starting spot rather than to just hand it to him. I did read that the other day in the news. They're thinking about potentially drafting a quarterback this year to give him somebody to go out with.
That might not be
we need so many.
That might be a smart move.
A bad thing?
No. Because like we said, we're in a situation where quarterbacks are gold currently. It's not enough of them, and everybody needs one. So with a Hurts and another decent quarterback, you now have an ace in the hole. You feel what I'm saying? I don't need to play him. Does somebody need a quarterback? How much are you willing to pay for it? I got two.
Right. That's true.
I got two now. You feel me? So
I
can see you getting a good deal, especially after you seen the Stafford. We talked about that trade. So imagine what would happen if someone's desperate before the trade deadline, and you're the only one with an extra quarterback. You're gonna get called from everybody.
That's a good point.
That's a good position to be in. If I was Philly, I would definitely think about that.
We need so much though. That's why I'm kind of torn on it right now. You know what I mean?
But you could get that in return. You feel what I'm saying? You could potentially make that trade to get those pieces that you need. Basically, what you did was you bought a better stock. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
This stock is rising as it sits on my bench. So
I see what you're saying.
Once everybody trade deadline hits and everybody's scrambling to try to figure out, I'm gonna sell this stock here, and y'all gonna give me everything, all the defensive pieces I needed. I need a first round next year. I need everything because I know the position that you're in. Otherwise,
I thought that would happen with Carson Wentz, but I thought that would happen with Wentz, but we didn't seem to get what I liked back in return.
He's not enough
for him.
He's not.
I agree.
We've already seen too much of him.
Right.
The league is looking like he could be a bust.
You talked about desperation. You talked about desperation, though. I just meant from a desperation standpoint.
But
how many teams are desperate.
Think about a Hurts. Like nobody's seen much of him, right? So he hasn't had a chance to look bad like Wentz has. So there's still that.
That's true.
There's still that looming possibility he could be the next Deshaun Watson. And if you position him right, even if he's shit, you have no choice. You need him, right? You ain't seen enough film to know what it's about.
That's true.
That might be a checkmate move for the Eagles, to be honest. I think they should do that.
What do y'all think is going to happen with J.J. Watt? I heard Cleveland in the works, potentially.
Cleveland?
I
He did say he would go to Cleveland, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
I heard because – go ahead, Pops.
I think Cleveland is it. That's a heck of a defensive line. Cleveland on the up and coming swing. And J.J. Watt, if he does something for him, he'll be celebrated just like Tom Brady.
Right.
I agree. Miles Garrett's there. They already – y'all seen him. We seen him in the playoffs. They already went further than we thought they would go, to be honest. So,
he got Coach of the Year, so Steve, whatever his last name is.
It ain't Spagnuolo, is it?
Oh, speaking of Cleveland, what y'all think is next for Beckham?
Oh,
you know what?
He's out.
He's out.
He's hurt. He's accident prone. He's accident prone.
Talk about he's my age. He's my age too. Yeah. You know what?
Way better without him.
Somebody will pick him up. Somebody will pick him up because it's a household name.
Well,
but to y'all's point, I agree.
Well, he's been trying out with NBA teams.
Has he really?
What?
Yeah, he's he's a two-sport. He could easily be in the NBA. Odell Beckham could easily.
He plays basketball.
Baller.
Really? Is there a highlight tape? Is there?
Look it up.
Yeah.
He's a baller. Odell Beckham could have went either way. Odell Beckham
can he stay injury prone or?
Well, I feel like that's less stress than football.
It is and it's not. So it's the repetitive injury strain that you hit in basketball versus football, where it's usually an impact thing.
But you're also, I don't feel like you're making cuts like that either. You know what I mean? So he might be all right.
Look at Derek. Look at Derrick Rose. He'll be the Derrick Rose 2 of the NBA.
But like I said, you're not running routes on the hardwood. You feel what I'm saying? You might roll and cut back and forth on the baseline, but you're not making cuts like a wide receiver is on the field.
He's a big play. He's a big play kind of guy. So I just feel like someone like Beckham wants to always do the most. So he's over there. You are
right about that. You are right about that because even in the tryout tapes that I've seen, he's throwing alley-oops to himself off the backboard and
extra. Why?
He does a lot.
Why?
He does do a lot.
You know what I mean?
But
I think that's his downfall.
It's very clear that he's athletically gifted. It's just a matter of where's your focus gonna lie? He's almost becoming.
Gotta tone it down.
And I don't mean to bring it up, but we'll get here later. He's almost the Adrian Broner of the NFL. You had so much fucking promise. You had so much promise, and then it just all went down by the wayside after a while. You started getting into situations where you became the problem child of the NFL.
Right.
And now you're looked at as an AB where they're like, yeah, he's good, but I don't know if it's worth.
It's not worth the headache.
Right.
Yeah.
The juice isn't worth the squeeze there, right, with him.
All right. Hey, I am getting ready to drop. But I want to ask a question real quick.
Of course.
Who's got a tight end that's open that the Bills can have? Who can the Bills trade for a tight end?
You know what, Mike?
I thought y'all had a tight end though.
Mike, you know what's sad is I love Zach Ertz, but we have done him so bad in Philly and so poorly that he doesn't want to be there anymore.
So he's a name that's come up. He's
and
definitely
he could be somebody. He could be somebody that may be interested in making that move.
And,
unfortunately,
Jonnu Smith from the Titans, who matched the Bills' entire production at tight end position.
No, I hadn't heard of him.
Nah.
Why don't they trade down and go after Pitts?
I'm with you there. I think
he's a phenom. That's a phenom.
I don't think they have anything to offer.
Man.
Yeah, I
don't. The other one that came up was the tight end coming up from Penn State.
Once you feel like there's
probably get him in the second round.
I know you're talking. I can't think of his name, but I do know who you're talking about.
Sure.
It's like Fryer moves.
You got me looking him up now, because I do know who you're talking about. But listen, the tight end position, that's interesting. You don't see a lot of them open.
No,
right. That's
right. Not usually.
The problem is that the Bills have been decimated by tight ends a lot this season.
Right.
Couldn't cover a tight end to save our fucking life. We also can't find them. And when we do find them, they drop the fucking ball.
But you know what? What I noticed.
Literally.
What I noticed based on watching was that it was a lot of teams this year lacking across the middle.
Well, that's because you've got all these outside linebacker types. You've basically got safeties playing outside linebacker. Guys that would have been safeties 10, 20 years ago are now playing outside backer, and they can't match up with the tight end. And middle backers are not as prominent positions, I feel like they have been like in the Lewis era, right?
I
like,
definitely agree.
Game thing.
And so there's nobody in the middle. Like, yeah, even your good run stoppers, like Khalil Mack's still going to get torched by most tight ends.
Right.
So
that's a great point.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's why we need a tight end. We need some of that.
Hey, wasn't Njoku available last year? Wasn't he trying to be traded
from the Browns? From the Browns?
Yeah.
Well,
Njoku's pretty good.
Yeah,
he is. He's
pretty good.
I don't know him.
So
we just had more.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, I don't know him.
He's a good receiver. A tight end. He was trying to get out.
He's underrated.
But we're not gonna hold you up, sir. I mean, we'll let you know. We'll let you know if we come across a tight end.
Yeah, let me know.
You know,
right?
I can tell my.
Hi, Mike.
Right. Give me
Mafia.
Hey, give me a shower before you hit it.
Carson fucking Wentz hit the shower.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you have the?
Let's see. Did I manage to get it?
Hit them showers, Carson. Hit
the showers.
All right, Mike. Love you, boy.
Right.
Be safe.
Take care, Mike.
I'll see you. Have a good one.
All right, man.
All right, now, since the man, the myth,
Get into it?
The man, the myth, the legend hopped off, we might as well talk fight night this evening, ladies and gentlemen. We got a great fight coming on at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ESPN. That's right. It is not a pay-per-view. They're giving you arguably one of the best fights of the year for free, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't know if it's because they don't know who they chose for the fight. I don't know what it is, because these two, this is about to be, listen, I don't know if y'all know Oscar Valdez. Well, first of all, it's Miguel Belchelt, who is currently the champ. He is the WBC champ. He is 37-1, 33 knockouts.
Yes, 37-1 and 33 knockouts. Yep.
And then Oscar Valdez, who is 26-0, 22 knockouts. Is that correct?
No, he's 28-0, 22 knockouts.
28-0. But
yeah,
listen, Oscar Valdez was a former Olympian, and that means nothing to me. He actually won a fight where he broke his jaw in the 5th round and fought the rest of the fight to get the win. So that lets you know what kind of Mexican pride we got that we're working with here. And this is this is the man that's not the champion. You hear what I'm saying?
Right. I agree. Yeah.
So I feel like this is one of those fights that is it's set up to be fireworks. It is set up to be fireworks.
Yes, it is.
And what you got, Mike?
Who you going for?
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing is everybody has Oscar Valdez as the underdog, which I understand why you give him that.
Because he's not the champion.
Right. Even though he's the Olympian and he's undefeated, I understand all of that. But my whole thing is, if you watch Miguel Belchelt, he doesn't have any defense. Like, he's really one of those Mexican style, head down, push forward, keep swinging. He doesn't block. He doesn't counter. He just swings. Oscar Valdez counters. He has head movement. He has footwork. He has everything. So what I
like him.
Yeah, I do too. And what I can see happening is him purposely baiting him into a heated exchange and waiting for the counter to put him down, because he has underrated power with that 22 KOs on his record. Yeah.
But that Miguel with that 33 knockouts on his record, though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he got
but
power.
Only thing is that one loss, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know, might be a second night for two.
Right. I mean, and it was a KO loss. That's the thing. It wasn't just a decision. It was a KO. That means that man's chin's been tested. So
right.
So
yeah,
if you can,
sure enough.
if you can bait him into a brawl, a heated exchange, and go for the counter, I really can't see somebody as precise as Oscar Valdez missing that shot.
I like Valdez.
It's just a matter of how many chances does Miguel give him. Because if Miguel doesn't want to give him chances, Oscar Valdez is shut out. There's nothing he can really do. But if he's willing to be reckless in exchange, if he's willing to exchange with him, I call it a KO 7th round. I'm giving it to Oscar, underdog or not.
What's their record, Cliff, in their series against each other? What's the record?
This is their first time meeting each other.
This is the first time.
It's the first time?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is it. This is the big show. They haven't had any. Okay.
This is the first time meeting each other.
I'm going with Valdez. I'm going with Valdez, and this one is the underdog.
I would say for anybody that's listening that may be gambling,
What'd you say?
I would definitely think about that bet. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would still put my money down on Valdez, but that's also from my perspective. And I also like to go with the underdog anyway, because they usually make you more cash. You know what I mean? Especially
exactly.
If it's a closer to even fight than people think. And I think this is one of those fights that's closer to even than people really expect.
Right.
I like Oscar, and I think that he's good. He's 30 years old. but you know, he ain't got a loss yet. I give that to him, but I think he drops that hand a little bit too.
He has holes in his game.
He drops that hand a little bit, so
I agree.
You know,
I agree.
They're gonna be banging. It's gonna be a banger, man. I mean, from what I have seen, I mean, those two are gonna go at it tonight, and I'm gonna give it to the champ.
You gonna give it to Miguel?
Yeah.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
Everybody's giving it to him. Everybody's giving
I'm gonna
it
give it to him. And I'm not saying that because the other guy's an underdog. I mean, he's both of them boys are bad, man. Right. I'm telling you, they're gonna bang. That's all I can say.
It's gonna be a great fight.
Yes.
I'm going with the underdog. I like to see the underdog prevail.
I'm with that.
And I feel like Valdez, you know, he may have what it takes. The champions seem like the champions usually retain for the most part. But I feel like Valdez, you know, may have his fair chance tonight. Not unless it turns into, you know, some kind of draw or, you know, who knows? But I think it'll be a great fight.
You know what? That's interesting that you bring that up because they've been throwing a lot of them out lately.
Right.
It's almost
That's
like,
why I said
it's almost like if it's too close to call, instead of
I plead the fifth.
Right, instead of me being a good judge, I'm gonna say it's a draw. Give it. It's a draw.
I'll plead the fifth.
And I don't. It just
didn't one of them camps have something shady going on about a scorecard or something like that? Did you hear that, Cliff?
I heard something about a scorecard, but that wouldn't really be on. I mean, that wouldn't really be on the camp, though. You know what I mean? Like, unless you got to that judge's pocket, that really wouldn't.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying.
You can't blame that. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I did hear something. They said something about that on ESPN, but I don't know the whole story. That's to even speak on that, but it just sounds funny to me.
Yeah.
What you think about? Pop?
Yeah, that sounds suspect.
I'm just listening on this one. I can't really speak on them two fighters, so
right.
It's best about just keep my opinion out of this one and just learn a little bit.
You
guys give me so much knowledge.
You plan on watching it?
I do plan on watching it. I plan on watching it, but I don't know enough about these two fighters.
Yeah.
Hey, baby.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Mike, mute that for me if you can.
Okay, hold on.
Until you,
the kids more disrespect.
But
go ahead.
You said what?
Am I muted?
No, muted, Mike.
On the microphone on your screen, like on your. You good now? I mean, I just didn't know if y'all was talking. Man. Or maybe not.
No.
But okay. Other than that fight, my whole thing is this. I'll finish on this, and this might give you a little bit more perspective, Pops. Miguel Belchelt was one of the fighters that they kind of wanted Gervonta Davis to fight.
Okay.
Floyd Mayweather's fighter, but
okay.
That was when he moved up to 135 and then went back down to 130. So they think that could be a potential fight in the future, but they also think that Mayweather's scared to give it to Gervonta. I think Gervonta runs through Miguel.
I think so too.
I can't speak on Miguel, but I do like Davis.
Yeah, I think Gervonta, not only does he have power, he's a great counter puncher. And you usually don't see that. You know what I mean? Usually with a power fighter, you don't see somebody that counters as well as he does. So
good foot move. He got good footwork,
right?
Good foot movement.
Everything.
He's hungry. Yes, he's hungry.
Going against somebody like Miguel that's willing to get that chin up, I'm going to just put that chin out there and swing. That's not a good fight for him against Gervonta, in my opinion.
Gervonta is a dog. I like him.
But moving on from this specific fight. Also tonight we have Adrian Broner back. I know we mentioned him before. He's fighting on Showtime, same time as this fight. And one of my questions is this the powers that be attempting to push AB out of the game? Because he needs this, you know what I mean? Like, he took that loss to Pacquiao. He took that loss to Mikey Garcia. He took that, he got a draw with Jesse Vargas. And it's like he just can't get a win. He hadn't had a win in like 5 fights now. And we know that your stock is crashing. So the reason why I asked that question is because you didn't give him a fair shot to show his numbers or his analytics. You put him up against arguably one of the best fights of the year that's free, mind you. This is on ESPN, whereas AB is on Showtime. So if you don't have the Showtime app, you got to pay for that.
Right.
So I almost feel like this is the powers that be trying to push him out, saying, because now what's going to happen is even if he has a great fight, his numbers are going to be down. Why? Because he's fighting against the other fight on ESPN. That's free. The better fight, that's free. So then when the numbers come back, they can say, hey, but you didn't really generate too much that last fight, and you didn't do your opponent bad enough for us to want to give you another one. So it looks like you're out. You know what I mean? So with that being said, my other than are they trying to push him out, my next question would be, what does AB have to do in this fight to really start his career back up?
He's got to be hungry. I can say this: he has to be hungry. He has to come out fighting. I don't care how hard you push me out. If I put on a good performance,
right,
you're gonna make it. I'm gonna make you want to see me next time.
Right.
Because if I put on a hell of a performance, and everybody that does watch my fight and it does get out there, they're gonna say, man, even though this was a better fight, you missed a hell of a fight. Because Bronner put out a good fight.
Right,
so I mean, he can open the door for himself if he just goes out there and don't handle business. You gotta handle business though. You just can't come out here going through the motions. You gotta handle business. You gotta be fireworks.
Here's my thing, and this is my only concern with him. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I think Adrian Broner was on track to be one of the best fighters ever until he bit off more than he can chew with that Maidana fight. You weren't ready for that. You were trying to prove a point to try to show you were on Floyd's level, and Floyd showed you were not. And ever since then, I feel like it hurt his pride too much to where he never bounced back. My number one criticism with Adrian Broner is he has low punch output. And I don't know if that's something that can be trained. Do you, Pops?
You know what? The thing about it is there's a confidence. It's a wake-up call. A lot of fighters go out there and, you think you can beat the world, you can whip the world. And then when somebody gives you a wake-up call, from that point on, you're not just fighting against, you're not fighting just your talent. Now you're fighting with your mind.
Right.
Now you're fighting with your ability to wonder. It's a lot of, it's an up and down thing, man. Right. You're full of it. Because once you take the gas out the tank, man, you can't go so far. So now he's literally he's fighting against his own demons, his fear, and then you got to fight against an opponent. It's a tough call. That's a tough call.
Perfect way to put it. That was
I don't know much about it, but it sounds like he has everything to. It feels like he has nothing to lose at this point.
Lose everything, yes,
and everything to gain.
Right.
And I feel like that's even more dangerous. I feel like
yes, that's right. Just from
hearing y'all talk about it, it sounds like he's being counted out. No. And I feel like that may be what uplifts him is that everybody's counting him out.
And I get that. Mike, I need that mute. I get that, but
how do I mute it, man?
The mic, if you on your page, you see down at the bottom that mute.
Mike, go to Zoom. Go to your Zoom call. Highlight your iPad. There's a mute button on there.
Mute and stop video right there.
Okay.
On the bottom.
There you go. Bang.
There you go.
Perfect. But what was I saying?
I was talking about how Bronner has everything.
Yeah. My thing is he's been counted out. In his past 5 fights, he's been counted out. You feel what I'm saying? So just because you've been counted out again, I don't know that that's enough to drive you because you've been being counted out and you've been underperforming.
I think this will be the answer.
I mean, let's see. That's what they call him, the answer.
You know what I mean? That's his nickname. That's his nickname.
Yeah, they call him the answer.
He's the Paul Pierce of
the answer or the problem child. One of the two.
Oh wait, that's AI. I'm tripping. Anyways, talking about the
what I was told. When I was boxing, I told you know what they told me. They said when you stop feeling the butterflies in your stomach, it's time to let it go.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
When you stop feeling that fear, it's time to let it go because now you're just going through the motions. Right. When you feel like you got something to lose, and you're always going to be hungry. But when you just don't care anymore, that's when people can count you out.
Right.
But right now, when I watch him fight, I feel like he's it's like he wants it. He just don't know how to get it.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right.
So I mean, I'm just looking here at a quick overview. He's 31 and he's from Cincy, 5'7", 147. He's 33, 4-1 with 24 knockouts.
Yeah.
He'll snap the longest layoff of his pro career at just over 2 full years tonight.
Right. Off of the Jesse Vargas fight. Wasn't that his last fight?
I'm
not sure.
It's not telling me exactly. I can see his. I can look it up.
Last fight was a draw with Jesse Vargas, if I'm remembering correctly.
So off of that, I mean, I'm pulling for the guy. Obviously, again, I'm pulling for the underdog.
I'm always pulling for him.
But it's, realistically, it sounds like like y'all said, he may be finished up. This may be it. This may be it tonight. Like as far as make or break. Like
listen, if this ain't the one, there ain't one.
Yeah. Right.
If this is not the one where you show up tonight, there is not one. And let's be honest, the dude that he's fighting is a tune-up. It's not a tune-up. I don't want to say a tune-up, but what it is it's a young up-and-coming fighter, 14-0 with 1 draw, and this is his step up, the AB. So now what they're putting AB at is the gatekeeper role, where we'll give him to the young fighters on the way up, and if you can beat AB, then you may have a future in this business.
Right.
So if he doesn't do something drastic to win this fight, I mean like by stoppage, and I mean an early stoppage, not an 11, 10 round stop. It has to be like by 5th, 6th round stoppage. I feel like they're not going to give him credit. They'll never give you enough credit. I don't care if you didn't get hit the whole fight. If you don't stop this man, your career's over. You're going to have to hit the showers. Early hit the showers.
Right, that's agree. I agree, right. He's favored to win. It says according to the betting odds, he's favored to win tonight.
He fucking better be Malcolm. He's fighting a
knockoff
pro amateur. He's a pro amateur. Like
a knockoff.
He hadn't started fighting in the top level yet, and you fed him to AB. So if AB doesn't do him in, get out of here, bro. Get out of this.
Right. Bronner has been off for 2 years. It said too, and I feel like that could, it's different than Mayweather being off. Like Mayweather being off a year or two, right? Either way, right?
Mayweather lives it. Mayweather's disciplined. Mayweather's always training. AB is not. AB's kicking it. AB's flashing money. AB's fighting people in Vegas. Like he does too much. You know what I mean? That's the difference between the two. If Mayweather says I want to fight after 5 years, I'm still putting my money on Mayweather because we know
I agree
what he does still to this day.
Yeah.
AB's not the same.
He's proven.
But moving on. I don't want to tear the man down too much. Even though I listen, I like him. I am a fan of him. But shit, like, what can you do at this point? The motherfucker on Twitter talking about he gonna kill himself. He depressed.
What?
You ain't see that? Then he said
no.
Then he messaging Mayweather talking about give me a fight for 10 million. I just need 10 million. If you come back and give me a fight. Now you got a fight with a fucking kid coming up, and we try to see if you can do it.
Right.
He's from he might be one of your people. He's from your neighboring city, Cincinnati. He might be one of your people. Little Papa Jordan, maybe on mom's side, not your side, maybe on mom's side. You never know. It might be a Cincy one, But no, you're right, Cliff. You're right. He just
unmute yourself, Mike.
He too dark to be on my side.
Right. Listen.
I thought fell on my chair on that one.
Y'all Mexicans over there, y'all.
Right. Little Felipe and stuff,
But other than AB, we also got another fight on Showtime fighting in the undercard.
Ooh.
Another Ohio boy, Toledo, Ohio, former world champion, WBC, I believe, Robert Easter Jr. You know who that is?
Look him up.
Skinny dude, tall, skinny dude. He's
no.
Him and AB.
I might have seen him.
Yeah, you probably know him if you've seen him.
I've seen him.
By
name, I'm lost.
He was undefeated until he fought Mikey Garcia. Yeah, that's him right there.
Okay.
He was undefeated until he fought Mikey Garcia, and Mikey Garcia beat him for his first loss. I think now he's like 23-1 or something like that.
He is.
And now he's getting another shot to try to come back. He's fighting Ray Martin. Now Ray Martin's amateur career is amazing.
I don't know who Ray Martin is.
Ryan Martin.
It is Ryan Martin.
I just cause Google. I don't know nothing about it. I'm just on Google.
Listen. Lord knows I won't remember a motherfucker's name.
Ryan Martin and Adam Luck fighting him.
Right. I'm lucky to get. I mess up.
I don't remember no name unless you sign my paycheck.
Listen.
Right.
And I don't remember that one. You hear it?
Right. Listen.
I mess up one name, Michelle, but yeah, Ryan Martin. But his amateur record, he was 202 wins with 24 losses as an amateur.
Ooh.
He was USA Olympic gold medalist under 19. And then
that's
he
impressive.
was a 12-time USA champion as an amateur. So now his record is still kind of low, I believe. I think he's still in the team.
Ryan Martin's?
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
I'll look it up. I know he lost to Luke Campbell. I know that's the one loss that he has on his record, if I'm remembering correctly.
Ryan Martin has 25 fights, 24 wins, and he's won 14 by knockout.
Oh, okay. So I must have been thinking about the knockouts instead of the fights when I said the teens. But yeah, I know that one loss is to Luke Campbell, which is, of course, that's the guy that just lost to Ryan Garcia, the white boy that got knocked out, that knocked Ryan Garcia down, and then so he's a good fighter, and my whole thing is he has a lot of pop to be as long as he is. Ryan Martin and Robert Easter are both the same height. They're very tall to be in that 140, 147 weight class. So
my question is this. When those knockouts come? Toward the end or when you first start fighting taxi cab driver?
Right. That's a great question.
Don't get me lying.
That's a great... They don't tell you that. Well, I guess you could look it up on his box rec, but...
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, you probably could look it up on his box rec, but...
Well,
I'll tell you, in the beginning, awesome. He started out winning, knocking out. What's your boy? What's his name? Balaga Cliff.
Who?
What's his name? Belanga with the 14 knockouts, 15 knockouts in the first round.
Yep, Edgar Belanga, 16, I believe now. I think he's.
That's all fantastic and good. When you fight somebody,
right,
and like you don't knock them out,
Charlo,
then what happens?
Or Canelo, and then you're in there and you can't put him down. That's just bad for his... I'm glad you brought him up because that's just bad for his progression. Like, don't get me wrong. You got a gift from God in your hands. Clearly. It's clear that you do. But you're not... Out of 16 fights, you've literally went nowhere. You know what I mean? You're still at the starting point of your progression because you haven't been pushed one time in one fight. You still don't even know what it is that you're capable of after 16 fights. So what's scary about that is now that you're getting into 17, 18, 19, they're going to start throwing you in there with real monsters.
Right.
And we don't know how you said about Mac Jones. We don't know how you're going to fare now that they put you in there with real monsters. We know what you look like back in college. But here, it's a different story. So, I mean, I wish him the best. He's definitely an exciting and electrifying fighter, but...
I can't even say he's exciting.
You don't think?
He's kind of a... Nah, I can't say. He's more like a slow technician. I mean, he hits hard. He hits hard from what I've seen. The guys he's fighting are not really fast.
Right. And he doesn't have, good movement, like great... He doesn't.
I don't know how your defense is. I don't know how your footwork is.
Right.
Because technically, you throwing big shots and they go down.
He's like a boss in a video game.
Like,
you know what I mean? Like he's just a boss. If you who knows? If you catch him, he might go down. But nobody's done it before. So
nobody got close up to the chin.
Right. Everybody's scared to take the blow. Hopefully,
so he hasn't had a real challenge. It sounds like. Is that what I'm hearing from you?
I'm not gonna say that the fights. No, because they've been giving him fights. I'm not gonna say not challenges. What's happening
he just hasn't had a...
What you gonna say?
He just hasn't fought anybody that doesn't fear him.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly
a big threat. Not anybody that's a threat to him.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Here it is. Here it is in a nutshell. Mike Tyson destroyed everybody when everybody was scared. But once Buster Douglas hit that chin and everybody's seen if you hit that chin, it's kryptonite.
And
he got a holy chin.
Right.
Once he got
wake up call.
Now everybody wanted Mike Tyson.
You right.
Right.
And he got knocked out by the white boy in the
Right.
that one.
Not me.
Well, listen.
I still don't want Mike Tyson, Papa Jordan. Look, I seen after watching that last.
It depends on that check. If they talking about a couple million, I take brain damage for my family to be good.
I'm flopping. Look. They be like Mike.
Damage. My family gonna be spending money. You hear what I'm saying? As long as y'all wipe my mouth every now and again when I'm drooling.
Is it worth that much? Is it worth that much?
I don't think Mike Tyson know where you are nowadays. The last fight, he was higher than Kite.
Yeah.
He did look blow. He said, let's do it again.
He said he was.
He said, let's do it again.
Listen, he spared Roy Jones though.
And then you know what he said? I like the, you know he was high, and he changed who he was when he told Roy this. Roy said, Mike hits hard. He said, but you took it. But you took it. He said, I hit hard, but you took it.
Right.
You knew he was high.
Right.
Probably drunk.
Right.
But he said, you took it.
I was just
have you listened to his podcast though?
Oh yeah, I like
Mike Tyson. He has one.
Yeah, he's real. Him and Jeremy Piven, who I love, by the way.
He's funny.
Yeah, but he's real. You know, like what's the word I'm saying? Like he's real
loving,
conscious.
Like he's involved now. You know what I mean? Like
aware.
Aware. Exactly. Like before, where he would just be a dickhead, which I love, by the way. I'm just saying. I loved that when that picture of him biting the kid's shirt while the kid's crying while he was signing autographs. You know what I'm talking about?
Nice.
Hold up. Time out. And I know this is not good podcast production, but
oh snap! Cliff pulling out the iPhone 3, y'all, the legendary iPhone.
Listen,
pull out the legendary iPhone.
Hey, but I do, man. I love Mike Tyson, man.
I do too.
Do we need magnifying glasses, Cliff?
Oh,
I didn't see that.
I didn't either.
Listen, how can you not love that guy right there? If that was my kid, I would be dying laughing.
I would too.
That picture.
I would too.
Come on now, how can you not like him? He said, "Fuck you. If you don't like what I'm saying, change your station." I talk to you how I want to talk to you.
Wow.
Listen, Mike Tyson, that dude. He that dude to this day.
It's good to see
I ain't messing with Mike.
Yes, he is.
It's good to see that progression that he's made, though, along the way. I will say that. But, I mean, other than that, the only other thing I really wanted to touch on was that the JoJo Diaz joint.
Oh, right. And oh boy, yeah, we didn't talk about that. Yeah, I got my money. I can't say his last name. Not sure if he's Russian or whatever his background is.
Rakhimov.
I like him.
He's a good young fighter. I'm glad he didn't take the
JoJo
loss.
just looks. Yeah.
I'm glad he didn't take the loss. What I will say is this and we talked about this last episode when all of us was on, and I said the fact that he lost his belt on a scale, I said I think that it's gonna go to Rakhimov because he like he's already deflated from losing his belt. You know what I mean? And you could tell in that fight, he didn't get started until like the 6th, 7th round. And that's the only thing that saved him, that got him to draw, because he didn't come out there in the beginning wanting to fight like he was fighting for a belt, because he knew he already lost it.
Right.
So he felt like, I'm just going through the motions at this point. And Rakhimov came out there trying to work.
Right.
And touched him up.
I like him.
He's
JoJo just
slouch.
didn't. In the highlights I've seen, I just wasn't
JoJo's
impressed.
JoJo's supposed to fight Gervonta too.
But you know what JoJo's problem is? I've seen JoJo. If you watch the fight again and you watch all the highlights, you watch him. He's a rhythm fighter. He every time he throws a hard shot, he drops his hands. He puts his face out there. He drops his hands.
You right.
And then he's more like a 1, 2, 3 punch.
Well, though,
1, 2, 3 punch.
I gotta defend him here though, because they say, I'm not gonna call him this. Rest in peace to the late great Pernell Whitaker, but he beat who they call the person with the next slickest defense to Pernell Whitaker, who is God damn, his name was just on the tip of my tongue.
Let's see if I can
from New Jersey. God damn it.
I don't know. But why you think about that? I like Joe, but I just said, like I said, he seemed like he was a rhythm fighter. He just seemed like he didn't attack.
No,
he didn't really go after him. But he did have some nice shots, though. He threw some nice shots.
Tevin Farmer.
Oh, Farmer.
Tevin
Yeah,
Farmer
okay.
is got the slickest defense I've seen. I don't know if I would like put him on a Pernell Whitaker standpoint, but JoJo Diaz beat the shit out that boy.
Yeah. But I was going to say the same thing. When I watched that fight for you said in the first 6 rounds, I mean, he was punishing him. And when the shots he was taking, that made him back off. Because when he first came out, he was trying to fire off on Joe. But then when Joe started hitting him with them big shots,
right?
He's like, oh man, I could go down. So he kind of took it easy, and then
I can see that
until the sting came off.
Right.
Once that sting came off, then he said, okay, now I can work with you now.
Right.
In the beginning, he was like, wait a minute, hold up, I think I jumped in this a little too soon.
Listen, well, I mean, he was touching him though. Rakhimov was touching him in the beginning. It was
like
it was almost like he just wasn't there. Like JoJo just wasn't there, and he just took too many shots, and one woke him up and was like, listen, you about to take an L, bro. Get back in this game. Because he did dominate. He dominated the last 5 rounds. JoJo
did?
Yeah, he did dominate the last 5 rounds. Arguably, the 12th round was a little closer than the 4 before. But he did dominate the end of the fight. I just think that they kind of gave it a draw because Rakhimov wasn't a big enough name to win. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he was a bigger name with that same performance, they'd have gave the win to him.
Yeah, he was pointing.
So they cheated him, you feel like? Feel like they cheated him?
No, I don't think it was so much cheating.
I can't say that.
No, I don't think it was so much cheating. Just as, like, you got to beat the champ. You got to come out and beat the champ. You got to take the belt. And if you don't take the belt and beat the champ, then it's a draw.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they cheated him, but I do think that if somebody else rewatched it, you could edge Rakhimov out on that fight if you really looked at it that way. But you might be playing a little favoritism doing that.
Right.
But you could edge it out with a victory to Rakhimov.
Did you, Cliff? Have you either one of you or your dad heard about the possibility of a Mayweather Davis fight? I think I seen something on World Star.
Never happened.
A couple months ago. You think it won't happen?
Never happened. Davis, as in Gervonta Davis?
I believe it was him. It was somebody that Mayweather's
happen.
Cool with that boxes, and they talked about
that would never
potential
happen.
matchup.
Mayweather wouldn't.
I didn't hear about it.
Mayweather wouldn't do that. And
I'm
not even saying that Gervonta's good enough to beat Mayweather. But what I'm saying is if he connects on Mayweather,
think it's over.
That might be the end of his legacy.
Might be the end of the money team.
We all know Zab Judah put you down. We seen that glove touch the ground. You hear what I'm saying? Nobody ever counted that knockdown. But if Gervonta hits you with the same shot, I don't even know if you're getting up. I don't know if you're getting up. Now, I don't think he gets hit with that shot, but there's always a possibility that you could. And I don't think Mayweather wants that. That's why he never came back to fight Canelo again.
Right. Yeah, Canelo, listen.
Because Canelo progressed from that 23-year-old that you fought. He learned your defense. He downloaded Mayweather's defense. That's the first. Canelo is evolving the Mexican fighting style. Before, it was just, like I said, head down, move forward, and fight. Now, Canelo has finally added slickness to the Mexican style. So these little kids coming up, these little Latino kids coming up, is learning from him how to be smooth and dip and roll. They never did that before. That may put them on top. You know what I mean?
Right. Could be the the missing piece.
Definitely
could be it. Yeah. Difference maker. The Mexican boxers are pretty tough. I definitely like it. I enjoy watching Mexican boxers.
All of them. They usually the best fights to watch, to be honest. That's why I think tonight's is going to be a good one. But
that's at 10.
Oh, we
about an hour and some change.
Got a little bit of time. We an hour and 15 in.
Right.
But you know what? But you just said that. But the Mexican fighters are going to come up anyway because the really truth of the matter is the black race really we don't have no where we fight now. Where we go train now. all the great trainers are pretty much gone.
Right.
You asked about Mayweather. Mayweather ain't thinking about right now because he's training his own fighters.
Right.
He's training his own fighters. He's making money with his own little team. Unless you come up in that little era with that kind of a team, you're not going to be a good fighter. Columbus doesn't have great places to go train anymore.
Right.
You don't really have places that you where you don't even hear about Detroit fighters that much anymore. Right. So my point is,
they were the best.
Where are the fighters at? I mean, when you go out there,
you're right.
And the Mexico, what else did they got to do?
Real quick.
They like to fight anyway. So where you going to go get the training? I mean,
that's true.
So to my thing is, nowadays, you know what you seeing on TV now, all these little young black kids now, it's all about women now.
Right.
It's all about women, tennis shoes. All the young kids I see now is selling tennis shoes, making money. They ain't thinking about fighting.
Yeah, the morals is different. And you know that, Papa J, because they shooting. They don't want to fight. That's nothing. Exactly. They're scared to get their butt whooped these days. You know, they shooting now. If I even fear I'm losing, I'm shooting. It's like, what?
Where do you want to train at? Where can you train at? I mean, because it's got so ignorant out there in the streets now that ain't nowhere to go train, man. And ain't nobody supporting you. Ain't nobody backing you.
Mm-hmm.
But them guys actually fight for their country.
They do. A lot of pride. It's a lot of pride. They
have pride in their country. And
have you heard of Shakur Stevenson? You ever heard of him? Shakur Stevenson. He's 23 years old. He's 15-0, and he's got 8 knockouts. He's an up and coming young black fighter. He fought in the Olympics. Yeah, he fought in the Olympics. I think he got a silver medal or 1 bronze or something like that. But yeah, he's up and coming fighter that I was looking.
He got a silver medal in the bantamweight in 2016, Mike.
Okay, thank you, Malcolm.
I will say this.
What's up?
I go down to the gym. The last time I went to the gym, there is I've seen 3 young guys that look like they might be able to do something. They might be able to do something. But the thing is, I just said,
guy. Yeah. Continue, Pops.
But the thing I'm saying is, once again, I'm gonna go back to it. You name one fighter, and I'm telling you, I see maybe 3 that might do something.
Right.
And again, they got a whole country.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's all they do. But they want to make a name for themselves. They fight for a country, and we just fight. We fight for our own little name.
Right.
That's true.
But at the same time, that's why do you think we fight for our own little name why would we want to fight for our country?
Yeah,
that's a good point too.
Like it's different. Like Mexico, it's Mexican pride. It's not the same. There's no United States pride when it comes to black fighters because black fighters don't feel like they're involved with the country.
Exactly.
The country roots against every black fighter. Only time they root for a black fighter is when a black fighter's fighting a Mexican or somebody from out of the country.
Right. That's true, 100%.
They rooted for Conor McGregor when Mayweather fought. You feel what I'm saying? So why?
I got what you're saying, 100%.
So
they did. There wouldn't be a United
States pride ever in a black fighter because black fighters feel like the United States fucks them over.
That's true.
And they do.
It's totally different.
They do. But
that's that was even more embarrassing when Nate Robinson stepped in there.
Man, listen.
He shouldn't even got in there. This young man, he already fighting. He just already had a few fights.
Well, listen.
Nate Robinson had no chance.
Nate Robinson, listen. This is what got me. And this is, you ain't supposed to listen to everything you hear, and I fell victim to it. It ain't like I put money on it or anything, but I was thinking maybe he got a shot because he was talking about how, back in the day, he used to train boxing, for cardio and shit, and that was what he would do instead of run. So I was thinking maybe you got enough technique from doing that enough, even though you ain't been in the ring. But listen, then when I found out he never sparred one time before that fight.
No.
I said, yeah, you could.
Who was his camp? Who was his camp that let him go down like that?
He said he never sparred one time. He didn't hop in the ring not one time before the fight.
That don't make no sense.
You can be a professional fighter and lose a fight if you don't spar before you get in the ring.
You gotta practice.
And you have to be in a real life fight scenario to understand what that adrenaline does in your nerves and If you're not doing that, then come on. Yeah, he
Listen, I'm sorry. I'm not saying I would have did any better because I know I wouldn't have done any better, but it's the part that real quick, the part that killed me was when he told his NBA peers and everybody else, this is for us.
Right.
I'm doing it for the culture.
He just embarrassed his fucking self. And
then went out and got knocked out by a YouTuber.
But let me tell you something, though. Jake Paul is not a joke.
He's not. He's scary.
Honestly, not a joke. Like that. Like
he's scary.
I can see him beating a lot of real fighters. Not like big name real fighters, but like the cab drivers and shit. It's over for them. It's over for all of them when it comes to Jake Paul. He's not one of those guys who's pretending to do it. He's actually calling himself doing it.
He's training. He called out. Yeah. No, listen. Did y'all see how he called out McGregor right after he knocked on Nate Robinson? He said, "McGregor, I want you." He was calling him out of his name. He was talking like reckless about McGregor. McGregor never responded.
Listen, he was talking about Floyd Mayweather about how his daughter got knocked up by NBA YoungBoy and all that. He trolling everybody trying to get a fight.
He's trying to make money. He's trying to get some money.
Would you call Jake Paul the Tekashi 6ix9ine right now of boxing, man?
That's a good.
I would agree.
That's a good.
I would agree.
Analogy.
And I know we're talking about boxing. I won't go into that. Never mind. I was going to say, speaking of Tekashi, him and the Meek Mill incident, but I won't go into that. No. But yeah, I think he's like the Tekashi of boxing right now.
That's a good analogy. I can see that because
he's trolling.
You're not considered a real boxer, just like everybody was like,
right.
You ain't no rapper like that. You know what I mean? Right. You ain't no real dude like that. But you're right. Yeah, I can see that. That's an interesting analogy. Huh.
He's trolling heavy, and he's not no punk. I mean, I will give him. He's not no punk. I'm not saying he's the baddest dude in the land, but he's not no punk either.
Who, Tekashi or Jake?
Jake Paul. Oh well, Tekashi.
I was about to say I'm taking.
But yeah, Jake's not no punk. I mean, he ain't the toughest guy, I'm sure, but he's not no punk.
I didn't see nothing.
You ain't see.
You didn't see nothing, Pops?
Well,
I didn't see anything.
Well, listen. Okay, so I didn't either when I watched.
Man,
right?
He fought a bum.
No, you're right, and I didn't.
Fought a basketball player.
I didn't see that. I think he's gonna win his next fight.
Who's he fighting next?
This ex-UFC fighter Ben Askren, the dude that the Jorge Masvidal kneed in the face, the fastest knockout ever, where he ran across the ring and kneed him in the face.
Jorge, yeah, bro, yeah.
Kimbo Slice's boy. Yeah,
Jorge got beat up
him.
himself.
They supposed to fight in May,
I'll look it up.
first week of May, I believe. But the dude, the UFC fighter, wasn't a good boxer. Like, he was never a good boxer. So it's like you're hopping in there with a kid who's really been doing this. Like, he's really been doing this.
April 17th.
It's April.
April 17th.
I didn't know it was that early.
Yeah. So Ben Askren, you're right. Ben Askren, that's who he's fighting, like you said.
Yeah, I see a loss on Ben Askren for that.
But again, you're fighting somebody who don't box.
Right.
That's true.
Like,
I mean, I can't see him.
Ben Askren made his living wrestling.
I can't see him beating some of the best heavyweight. I mean, some of the best fighters his weight class in amateurs. In the amateurs. You just jumping on people who do not fight. So you're making a name off yourself, Kimbo Slice.
Yeah.
That's what I say, Kimbo Slice. You're making a name off of people who do not fight. So I just can't see it.
What y'all think about?
I don't know. I got to defend my guy Kimbo though, because that, I mean, it was a backyard whole thing. So it wasn't like, of course, he's not fighting fighters like boxers,
right?
But he was fighting real backyard fighters. They're just not
right.
the same level.
Try to step in the ring,
right?
What I'm saying, we try to step in the ring with some people who do it all the time.
When he hopped in the UFC, got his ass whooped in the UFC.
Okay, here we go. Another one. Butterbean.
Yep.
Butterbean was the 4-round champion. Man. He beat everybody in the 4 rounds because you fighting a bunch of cab drivers.
Right.
And then when you step up in the big dogs, that weight don't mean nothing.
Well, I got one for you, then. Because his career has been controversial in that regard. What about your boy Tommy Morrison?
Tommy Morrison.
I feel like he's
Tommy
a step
Morrison.
up from all of them. Like he's not on the same
Yeah,
level
he
as
had
all
Tommy,
of them,
Tommy
but
Morrison.
he's kind of in that same regard where it's like you didn't really fight a lot of.
You talking about the white Mike Tyson?
Yep.
Yeah,
That's him now. That's him now. Yeah.
He got AIDS.
Yeah, he was sick.
Oh.
yeah, he got sick. He got AIDS.
Ooh.
Didn't I'm trying to think. He beat one of the big top fighters.
He did beat a top fighter.
I want to.
Not David.
He
Was it Holyfield?
Nah,
I wanted to say
nobody like
Holyfield.
that. No, it wasn't nobody like
Okay,
that.
I thought
Lennox Lewis?
no.
No, it wasn't nobody like.
It says he fought Lennox Lewis.
Did he? He must have got beat up.
That's what this is.
Listen, if that's the case, he must have caught Lennox fresh out of the amateurs because
Because I didn't see that.
he wasn't elite. Like he was good. He was a great fighter. I think Tommy Morrison was a great fighter. He just
Tommy
wasn't
Morrison
elite.
was good. He was a good fighter. He was good. I give him that. He was good.
He was very good. I just
I
wouldn't call
I'm not
him
gonna,
elite.
I wouldn't call him elite, but I'd call him good. But I tell you what, when it came to Tommy Morrison, I had to think about who was going to fight, though. I mean, I had to think about it.
Right.
I just couldn't say he was going to walk right through him.
No. Listen, Tommy Morrison's story was when he was 15 years old, his family took him to the Tough Man competition and signed him up as an adult. And he won 3 years in a row until he turned 18 and then decided to start boxing.
Wow, that's impressive.
As a child,
That's
he was
impressive.
running through the men in the Tough Man and then decided to actually take up boxing.
Hey, Cliff,
That
my
ain't
dad.
hard to see, though. Look how that's a big child.
No, it ain't really hard to do. That's a different.
That's
the
a
Tough
big
Man's
child.
different.
So Cliff, my dad commented in the chat, and he said that Tommy, he's a big boxing fanatic on too. We'll have to get him on one day for that.
Sure.
But he said he beat Big George. I'm assuming my dad means George Foreman. That Tommy Morrison.
Okay.
was.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
He was a big
On
fighter.
his way
He beat a
out.
big
That's
fighter.
what my dad just said.
Thank you.
He
Appreciate
beat a big
that.
fighter. I just couldn't remember who it was. I knew
Thanks,
it was a big
Dad.
fighter.
Appreciate that, Papa King. that is
Your insights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way to bail us out.
Right.
Right, 'cause
I-
That's what I should have do. I'm about to just start phoning a friend of my dad when y'all bring some stuff up that I don't know like that. So what do you recall?
Marco gonna be on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I'm gonna have to phone a friend on this one.
I'm about
Right,
this.
right.
So
Let me
what
come out.
they didn't answer him. Can I get another call real quick? Or how many
Listen.
seconds do I got?
But I mean, other than that, I just think that for anybody that may be tuning in before they heard everything else, I really think that folks should tune into that Miguel Belchel Oscar Alvarez fight. I honestly think that has the shot of being best fight of the year.
Are you gonna go? Are you planning on, Cliff? If it's let's say it's a pretty extravagant fight, you think we should maybe just do a quick coverage later on? Because I'll be up. I mean, I'm just saying me personally. Like, I don't know about.
Listen, we can hop back.
I'm just saying.
We can hop back on depending. You know I'm always down.
Right. You know.
You say you down?
I'm down.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to see. I want to see who
then.
wins this.
If it's a good fight, then let's plan to hop back on after that. It's probably not going to be till like what 11:45, 12.
I'll be up. If Mike ain't sleep somewhere, he'll be on.
Well, no, yeah, it starts at 10. So no, I'm sorry, 10:45, 11. Because the fight shouldn't be too much longer than 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, and hold on, and like you said, depending on how long it lasts, because it may, we don't know.
I'm saying a full 12-round fight shouldn't go
right
45 minutes, but with commercials and all that, I expect it to go to an hour. So
speaking of that,
we can do
how many rounds do you think is? I mean, cut you off, Cuddy. How many rounds do you think it's gonna go?
I think
how many rounds?
I think if Valdez can bait Miguel Belchel into a firefight, he's going down in the 7th. Belchel going down in the 7th. I'm calling Valdez as the winner, even though he's the underdog in the 7th. I think his counter punching and his head movement is too much for Belchel, who's just naturally a bulldozer.
I'm gonna give it 6 rounds. This is obviously not that I know as much as you about it. I'm just going off of a whim. I feel like 6 is just a magic number for some reason in my mind right now.
And you think Valdez is 6? Okay.
Valdez. I'm going with Valdez. I want to go with that underdog. I like what I've seen in them highlights you sent me. I like what I've seen. I like both, but I'm pulling for Valdez. I like what I see from him.
Okay.
I do.
Well, I'm not mad at that. Well, let's do this then. Since it is the end of this show, I guess you already did some of it. I was about to say, if anybody feels comfortable enough in throwing out what they think may happen in the fight, do so, as well as, I guess we haven't really discussed enough games for there to be a hit the showers.
For what?
Football? Let's preface it as the loser. So give me your if you feel comfortable, give me your expectation, your prediction of the fight, and whoever you plan on losing, tell me who's hitting the showers.
I can't say his last names are how you say it?
Belchelt.
Belchelt hit the showers.
You giving it
in my opinion, and I'm saying he got hit the showers, and I'm saying Valdez, like I said, in 6 as the winner, as the underdog. That's what I'm calling.
Okay. What about you, Mike?
I hinge.
I'm gonna go with Miguel, man.
You did say that, didn't you?
Yeah,
he did.
What you think? You think it's gonna be? You think it's gonna be a 12-round decision? You think it's gonna be? What you think?
No, I'm thinking, man. I'm gonna say 4 rounds, man, because they're gonna bang this thing out and over with in a minute. I think. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm not gonna be one of those guys that sit up and think they're gonna fight all night. But
right. You don't happen.
He said 4 rounds. That's
4 rounds.
4 round.
Oh wait, Mike, you said 4 rounds.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I said 6
rounds. I said 4.
I'm not gonna say 4. I'm not gonna say that's impossible the way I see these two fighters fighting, but that's interesting. And you saying Valdez hitting the showers on this one, huh?
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Pops? You got anything on this?
On this one, I'm gonna say I'm gonna have to hit the showers because I don't know nothing about it.
I respect that.
I'm about to say I have to hit the showers, but I'll be able to tell you about it after tonight.
I respect that. What I will say is, I already said it. I think it's gonna be a 7th round KO for Valdez, but I will not tell Belchelt to hit the showers because I already know he's gonna give it a war. My hit the showers is probably going to go to Adrian Broner.
I wasn't even thinking about him.
I'm going to just keep it a buck. Like,
you know what?
I think he may win this. He better win this, but I think it's not going to be in a definitive enough way for me to not want him to hang up the gloves. And you're getting older. You're 33 right now, and let's be honest, Father Time never lost to nobody. So I don't expect you to keep up with the shit. Just
he might pull a Tom Brady tonight, though. You never know. Tom Brady might have inspired him in the Super Bowl. He might pull something up his sleeve.
Tom Brady's also undefeated in the clutch too. My man ain't won in his past 5 fights. I think that's pretty disrespectful to Tom Brady, is all I'm saying.
Right. Well, hey, I can say but you're having him at the showers? Broner got hit the showers?
AB hitting not my showers, of course. Hit your showers.
Hit the showers. Hit the showers.
Go ahead, hit them. But does anybody have anything to say before we wrap this up?
Well, it's always Raiders, Al Davis curse. Sorry about y'all's luck as Raiders fans. I'm sorry to tell y'all, dead or gone, dead or alive, it's always the Al Davis effect. So y'all might get it right long after we're all gone, but good luck to the Raiders and their off season and everything.
Okay, could I add to that?
Yeah, please do.
Your shirt needs to hit the shower. The backup quarterback, he sucks for real, bro.
He sucks now, but we're not. Hold on, we're not gonna say he sucked in the Super Bowl. Listen. But hold on. I definitely agree he's not playing the best now, but we're not gonna say he sucked in Philadelphia. We're not gonna go that far at all.
What, he got a lucky game?
He was game.
He come off the bench. Cliff, he came off the bench. Did you not see what he did up leading us into the playoffs? Throughout the playoffs?
Oh no, not into the playoffs.
Right. He let us. Carson was hurt most Carson was hurt most of that season, and Nick led us into the playoffs, through the playoffs.
Y'all was already
and won the MVP.
Y'all was already kind of.
We could have blew it. Nope. We could have blew it. He could have stepped in, and we could have blew it. We ain't blow it. We finished. Matter of fact, and then listen, and that, like Mike said earlier, Carson hit the showers because you know what? If Carson would have stayed in and stayed healthy, we'd have never made it that far and won that ring that year in 2017.
You know what, AB? I take it back. You can step out of them showers. Malcolm, you hit the motherfucking showers because first of all, your fitted cap, you wear it like a white quarterback. Second of all,
Thank you.
I wanted the light exposure to hit me. I didn't like how it was all dim. It was all dim at first, so I had to turn it back. I was on here like, hey guys, Malcolm guys.
Now you look like a fucking defensive lineman coach.
Hey, I'll take it. Give me that defensive lineman coach money. You know.
Oh shit! What about you, Pop? You got something to say?
Hey man, I got to say this. I'm gonna give a shout out and hit the shower to my boy Johnny Manziel.
Ooh,
yeah. Get him
he
out
had his
of
debut. He threw. He had to hit the showers for the one pass completed out of 5 passes. But I'm gonna give it to that nice little run he had, and he looked pretty good, except for them slow legs. He got ran down at the 5-yard line.
What's that you was watching?
It was the 7-on-7 league.
It's that 7-on-7.
I didn't see.
Yeah,
it.
he's
7-on-7 league, and he broke out. Look it up on the highlights, man. He broke out, but his saying was win lose. He said win or lose the what's they called the team out something team that we. Win and lose, we always booze or something like that.
So, win or lose and snort a line. That's probably his line. That's what his line should have been. Win or lose, snort a line.
That's party.
Booze. So
I bet.
Have a little drink, but I like the fact that he's still trying, even though
he needs rehab.
Don't let them push you out, baby. Keep moving.
Yeah, keep going. Like he said, he don't care. He just having fun.
That's all.
If you gonna pay, hey, he said. He also said that. I asked him what I would do if he hit big money. He said, I'm going to blow it.
Right.
I'm just going to have fun on it. I'm going to have fun on it.
Don't he come from money, though?
He does. He's rich.
Yeah.
So that's probably why he blows the money.
His parents are rich. He said he don't care. He just going to keep having fun.
His family owns an oil company in Clifton, Texas.
I'm with you, Pops. Manziel hit the showers, too, and stick to the 7-on-7. Because blow that
I agree.
Blow that couple 100,000 because listen, we don't want you back in Cleveland.
Right.
Baker replaced you.
What you got, Mike Brown? You over there with the peanut head. What you got, Peanut?
Nothing. I'm just sitting here ready to sign off. What's up?
Well,
I'm sorry. Sorry, talking about your jersey, Malcolm.
No last minute remarks over there. Farrakhan's half brother. That's Farrakhan's half brother right there.
Okay, I see where this is going. All
I will say is tune back in. You may get a bonus episode tonight, depending on the fight. I suggest you tune in so you know what it is we'll be talking about if we do give it to you. But love y'all. Thank you for supporting. All right. We'll be back before you know we left. Till next time.
Here we go.
All right.
Much love.
See you.